Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. The US aircraft carrier Gerald R has arrived in Croatia's port of Split for repairs and maintenance. The carrier, recently deployed in operations linked to the Iran conflict, was previously operating in the Red Sea when a non-combat fire broke out on board. The incident injured 3 sailors and left nearly 200 others requiring treatment for smoke inhalation. Pakistan will host Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Egypt for talks from Sunday on the Iran war, as Islamabad positions itself as a potential venue for US-Iran negotiations on the month-old conflict. The 4 countries' foreign ministers will hold in-depth discussions on a range of issues, including efforts to de-escalate tensions in the region during the 2-day talks. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said the meeting would seek to establish a mechanism aimed at de-escalation. He told a broadcaster that they would discuss where the negotiations in this war are heading and how these 4 countries assess the situation and what can be done. On the other hand, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has held a detailed telephonic conversation with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, focusing on rising regional tensions and efforts to restore peace. The hour-long discussion comes amid escalating hostilities in the Middle East. During the call, both leaders held extensive discussions on the evolving situation in the region and the urgent need for peace. Pezeshkian appreciated Pakistan's diplomatic engagement and acknowledged its efforts to promote dialogue. He stressed the importance of building trust to enable meaningful negotiations and mediation. The World Health Organization says 9 paramedics have been killed and 7 others wounded in a series of attacks on healthcare in southern Lebanon. According to WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the strikes targeted medical teams across 5 villages, severely disrupting health services. He added that 4 hospitals and more than 50 primary healthcare centres have been forced to close, with others operating at reduced capacity. Russia's state nuclear agency Rosatom says the situation at Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant is deteriorating, warning that ongoing strikes pose a direct threat to nuclear safety. The International Atomic Energy Agency says there has been no damage to the reactor and no radiation release, despite multiple strikes reported near the facility in recent days. Moscow has called for strong international condemnation, urging an immediate halt to attacks in the vicinity of the nuclear site. Iraq has ordered an investigation after a drone attack targeted the home of the president of the Kurdistan region. Security sources say the strike took place early Saturday, while air defences also intercepted another drone near a Peshmerga base in Duhok. The incident comes amid rising tensions in northern Iraq, as the broader regional conflict continues to spill over into the country. An Iranian military spokesperson has claimed that 2 US military bases, where more than 500 soldiers were stationed, were targeted. According to the spokesperson, around 400 US soldiers were present at one location in Dubai, while more than 100 troops were stationed at another site. Both bases were reportedly attacked using guided missiles and drones. He also warned that US President Donald Trump must understand that the region could become a graveyard for American soldiers.
At least 12 US troops were injured when Iran launched missiles and drones at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. 2 personnel were seriously hurt and 10 others sustained concussions. Several US refueling aircraft were damaged in the strike. The attack came hours after Israeli airstrikes targeted Iranian nuclear sites and forms part of Iran's ongoing Operation Promise Sadiq 4, which also struck US forces in Dubai and Kuwait. The escalation adds to previous losses, including 7 Army reservists killed in a drone attack in Kuwait and 6 airmen in an Iraq KC-135 crash. Over 300 US service members have been wounded since the conflict began. Israel struck multiple Iranian nuclear and industrial sites on Friday, including a uranium processing facility in Yazd, the Kondab heavy water complex, and 2 major steel plants. 18 people were killed in Qom, while Iran reported no radiation leaks. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi vowed retaliation, saying they will pay a heavy price. Analysts warn the strikes are hitting civilians, damaging infrastructure, and worsening humanitarian conditions, with global food insecurity expected to rise. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Washington can achieve its objectives against Iran within weeks without deploying ground troops. Rubio also addressed rising violence by Israeli settlers in the West Bank, noting UN estimates of over 1,000 Palestinian deaths since October 2023. He said the U.S. has expressed concern and suggested Israel may act to curb the attacks. He also warns that any move by Tehran to impose tolls in the Strait of Hormuz would be illegal and dangerous.
Meanwhile, the Middle East conflict has escalated sharply as Yemen's Houthis launched missiles at Israel for the first time since the Iran war began. Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis confirmed they launched a barrage of missiles at Israel on Saturday, marking their first direct involvement since the war began on February 28th. Israel said it intercepted a missile fired from Yemen, preventing major damage. The Houthis warned their operations would continue until what they described as aggression across multiple fronts comes to an end. And Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskiy has said that he met with United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and that they had agreed to cooperate in the field of security and defence. He said on the Telegram app that their teams will finalise the details. The two leaders tackled opportunities to advance bilateral cooperation under the Comprehensive Economic Agreement between the two sides. The Emirati state news agency said they also discussed the security developments and military escalation in the region and their impact on international navigation and the global economy. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.